pleasing with the way we finished off the year, but we know how hard it's going to be. It's such an even competition, and I think every team that is in the finals has got a good chance, and it starts for us next Saturday against a really informed Bombers team.
Are you more proud of how the teams got here as opposed to previous grand finals or final series, that you played in?
Yeah, it's a great effort. Clearly, our start was well documented, really poor start. So to make the finals from 0-6, no team's done it before. So it's certainly it is proud as a group that we're able to achieve that. But having said that, though, that's in the past now. It's almost a square ledger for everyone that is in the final series now, and as I said, really exciting. A big month ahead, hopefully.
Does that feel like you had to just make it at least and then reset?
Yeah, well, I mean, we weren't locked in till I think we beat Adelaide in Adelaide. So clearly, for us, it was a week-to-week prospect. We couldn't get too far ahead of ourselves because that was the situation that we're in. And in a way, that probably helped us out. Just keep our focus pretty narrow. And yeah, obviously after that Adelaide game, it was really pleasing knowing we'd locked our final spot in. As I said though, it's extremely tough competition this year, and we're just looking forward to the challenge.
Did the thought ever cross your mind that you wouldn't make the finals after that start?
We knew it was going to be difficult. We knew that if we lost, another 2 or 3 games within the few weeks after that first 6 weeks, that it would be incredibly tough. But yeah, you never stop believing. We knew that if we got a lot of things right, that we were able to get right, that would be a chance to work our way back into contention. The pleasing thing was the guys worked really hard, and we played some of the footy that we know we were capable of, and we'd shown in previous seasons. So we're really glad that our form's really strong now, and there's a lot of belief in the group. Having said that though, as I've said a few times, there's a fair bit of hard work to go.
Is there a fear or any danger that you put so much effort to get to this point that you guys may be burnt out a little?
No way. There's 2 weeks. Blokes have had 2 weeks off. I mean, it's a bit of a rare luxury. I think the way the AFL have done it now, I think it does make it quite even now. I think it's in terms of that, I suppose, fairness in a way. It means you can, I suppose, challenge from any spot in the 8. In the past, that 1 to 4 spot gave that real advantage, I suppose, without that week off. Whereas now it brings everyone, I suppose, to an even ledger in a way. Everyone gets that week off, rests the body and the mind, and gives yourself a good chance in that final series. So I think with that week off, it really helps us for sure.
You've generally come in as one of the teams to beat one of the top 4 sides. You're not this year. Do you sort of see yourself as maybe an underdog, or what sort of role do you think you guys are really going to play in this final series?
I mean, I mentioned earlier, but I mean, every team that's in the top 8 have had ups and downs throughout the year and have had different form patches. I mean, clearly I think GWS at their best, Adelaide at their best are probably those 2 teams that are probably going to the series as those favourites. Richmond have had an outstanding year, so those 2 or 3 teams I think deserve the right to be the 3 or 4 favourites going into the final series. Having said that though, our form's really strong. Anything can happen in September. You need to make sure your systems are really tight. You need to make sure you work really hard, and you lay some strong foundations, because finals football, it really goes up a notch in terms of intensity, contested ball, pressure. We've dealt with it before, but having said that, every year's different, and we're going to make sure that we bring the sort of intensity we know we're capable of to really compete in September.
Last time you played Essendon here was incredible finish. In terms of your season, how important was that game in terms of that winning run and just getting that win right at the end there?
Yeah, I think that game we played pretty well for 2.5 quarters, and we were pretty average for the last quarter until about the last 5 minutes. So we'll learn a bit from that game. They played reasonably good footy, and they were up by a couple of goals, and we were able to snatch it in the end. Probably didn't deserve it in a way, the way we won it, but it was a win that really built a lot of belief, knowing that we can come back from those sort of situations. Having said that, we'll look at that because we were pretty poor for the back quarter and a half. But as I've said a few times, it's a completely different ballgame. September, they know it, we know it. It's a different game. The stakes are a lot higher, and we're certainly so excited just to get back out there in a week's time.
Just on the week off, it was new for every club last year. Is there anything now that you personally or as a team you'll do differently?
Well, we've got a slightly different team. The game plan's slightly changed, different. Has had subtle changes to it throughout the year based on personnel. But really, as I said, I mean, finals footy is pretty simple. It's a team that pressures for longer. It's harder at the contest, and gets organised quicker off the ball. So I mean, really, the team that does that for longer, I mean, it's pretty simple and pretty boring and cliche. But the reality is, the team that does that better for the 4 quarters generally wins the game. You saw Bulldogs last year; their 4 weeks was outstanding. They were able to play at a high intensity, high pressure, work for each other every game and have one of the more outstanding final series of teams produced. So clearly that's the blueprint, and most sides know it. It's just about actually executing it on the day.
You finished the season with so much momentum. Are you worried the week off could slow it at any bit?
Oh, I mean, everyone's got the week off. I think it applies to everyone. Clearly, teams that are in good form want to keep playing. That's the reality. But everyone's got the week off. The positive is guys get to rest for a few days, get some more training in. So there is a positive in that aspect. And clearly, we don't have a double chance. So if we want to go deep into December, we'll be playing every week. So clearly, Bennett will help the guys out who had sore bodies at the end of the year.
How much is 2014 and 16 burning?
Yeah, I mean, it does burn when you think about it. It's frustrating, but having said that, though, this is a new year. We want to think of it that way. We probably don't talk about or draw too much on it. We know how bad the feeling was, and we don't want it to happen again. But it's a new year this year. We just focus on the boring cliche of controlling what we can control, and that's our training going into the game, and our mindset come game day against Essendon.
Do anything differently this finals campaign compared to last year? Is the preparation different at all?
Oh, pretty similar. Our training, the way we're going about our training is very similar. How we're attacking the first week. I mean, Essendon are in outstanding form. They're as dangerous as anyone on the turnover. If you allow them to play the one on the play, they're as dangerous as any team. So we know we've got to work cut out for us. They probably should have beaten us last time at the SCG. So clearly they'll have some confidence going into that clash too. And that's the way we prepare, which is basically the same way we prepare every week.
Surprised Josh Kennedy didn't get an All-Australian nod last night?
Oh, Josh has had an outstanding year. I think to lead us from 0 and 6, he was actually probably one of the few players that was playing really good footy in that 6 weeks. And his form's been outstanding all year. He's such a good leader, and his impact on games has been outstanding. Obviously, he was good effort to get in that 40. I think everyone in that 22 was very well deserving. It was a great team, number of great players. As much as you probably had the biased opinion as Josh should go in there, it's like, who do you take out? It's pretty hard to take out some of the players in that midfield. There's some outstanding players. Having said that, though, I think Josh has had an outstanding year.